Hello, my name is Matthew Jones, and I'd like to talk to you about Bimbo Bakeries, or Group Bimbo as they're known in Mexico City. Group Bimbo was founded in 1949 and is headquartered in Mexico City. They started off by delivering primarily to rural locations. They started their expansion in 1984 by exporting to the United States. They started exporting their Tia Rosa tortillas and their Hispanic cakes, which have really taken off in Texas and in California. They have a global growth strategy. They're a global company. They're involved in a lot of different markets throughout the globe, and they tailored this strategy through the use of mergers and acquisitions. They acquire a lot of companies to vertically integrate into those different global markets. Now, as I said, they have a global strategy, and they have a significant global reach. With Canada, U.S., they have 29 brands in the U.S. They have 26 brands in Latin America. Latin America is really their core consumer. That's where they've established a very significant base there, which helps them to maintain their profitability as they expand into these other markets. They also have Mexico, which is 16 brands. They're in Central America, they're in Europe, they're in the UK, and they're in Asia. And they've had some relevant acquisitions, or I've listed a few of the relevant acquisitions. They've had more than this, but some of the relevant ones would be Mrs. Bear's in 1998. That's when they stepped into Texas. 2002 would be Orwheat, which I was a part of that Orwheat. I was working for Bimbo when they bought Orwheat, so I have some personal experience with that. And then in 2011 they bought Sara Lee, which was a giant step for Bimbo Bakeries to produce not only in Texas and California, but throughout the rest of the United States. Now, Bimbo has succeeded in sustaining their competitive advantage through acquisitions, through their patience. They're very patient with their acquisitions, and they try to find the right fit. They're not looking for just a company to buy just to buy. There's no delusions of grandeur there. They're wanting to make sure that the company is the right fit, they can integrate quickly, they have the ability to share resources and develop that synergy that they need to be profitable. Now, they have a very concentrated strategy, and that also speaks to their patience with acquisitions. They want to make sure it has the right fit, and they also want to make sure that the company is in line with their corporate culture, so there's not a significant change there in leadership. Whenever they change leadership, there's not a huge issue whenever that happens. They don't have a bunch of people leave. There's not a huge turnover rate whenever they buy a different company. Now, they do some downsizing to help productivity versus capacity, but it's not significant. Another reason they succeed is that they always purchase at the right price. Not always, but the ones that I have looked at, they always make sure that they're not overpaying for that company. They look at those companies specifically. They're not usually companies that are number one in the market. They go after maybe the number two, number three person. And they also make sure that they're not overvalued. Now, they did a good job here recently, in about 2 or 3 years ago, not purchasing Hostess, which Hostess had an issue, and they eventually, I think they went bankrupt. But they didn't, Bimbo had an opportunity to buy them, but Hostess was asking for a significant amount over what their valuation was. So Bimbo made the decision not to purchase it, which I think was a great idea. And another reason they are very good at exceeding is that they integrate quickly. And I was there whenever they bought Orwheat in 2002. And whenever that happened, we had the ability to distribute Orwheat in about 3 weeks. So they had the computer systems worked out, logistics worked out, and they were baking Orwheat bread within, I'd say, 2 weeks so that we could have that distribution capacity. And that's very quick. I've never seen that happen anywhere else that I've been. They also make sure that they stay innovative. And they stay innovative by just by taking risk and developing a culture that's okay with taking risk. And they have a pretty significant R&D department that they maintain through Bimbo. And they keep the mantra that if you don't succeed, try again. So they want to make sure that they keep their breads on this healthy track that everybody's going in, and making sure they try different ways to produce, different logistics that they can to cut money and save time. So that's why Bimbo succeeds. If you have any questions or comments, please contact me through my email here. Also, I have my sources listed if you want to take a look at and read. I think Bimbo is a great company, and they're a very strong competitor and have kept their competitive advantage through their acquisitions. Thank you.